Hi, everybody. Dave the pharmacist here. I am going to talk today about the Pfizer vaccine. There's been lots of talk about all these vaccines coming out and how they're 95% effective. So I thought I would just throw this up there as just a perspective on how these numbers come to play and to show you what the real study looks like. So here we go. This study comes from the New England Journal of Medicine, nejm.org. You can find this on the internet yourself, and pretty much all the papers, I think all the papers in the New England Journal of Medicine, you can download yourself and look at it. So if you do that on that site, you can find the Pfizer study here. So I want to just give you the nuts and bolts of the Pfizer vaccine study in 4 minutes. So here we go. Here's a study where they enroll 43,548 adult volunteers. I think they were had to be over 16. So you got 43,000 people that volunteer. They had a number of sites for recruiting. So it was in the U.S. and South America, South Africa, Germany, Turkey. So they take all these people. And they randomly split them into two groups. So about 20,000 get the Pfizer vaccine, about 20,000 get a salt water injection. They get two needles. They get one, and then they get one 28 days later. So they don't tell anybody what they get. But so about half get the salt water, half get the Pfizer vaccine. So here's the central element here. Of the people they just gave salt water to, those are what you call the control group. So they just, whatever happens to them is what you think is going to happen if you don't do anything. So presumably salt water doesn't protect against COVID. So they just give it as a sham so people don't know if they're getting the vaccine or not. They follow these guys for about 4 months. And out of those 20,000, 169 of them get COVID over 4 months. So this is where, this is the part I can't stand about the vaccine trials. And it's not that nobody did anything wrong here, but essentially, what I would have hoped is if you gave 20,000 people a vaccine, or if you get 20,000 people that you've enrolled into a COVID trial, you want to see a lot of cases of COVID, but it looks like they probably enrolled these guys in the trial and they said, oh, make sure you wear your mask, make sure you social distance, make sure you do all this stuff. So protect yourself. So really, there wasn't that many cases of COVID-19 in that COVID trial. I think it works out to about 0.8% of these 20,000 people. So I always find that disappointing. I wish they would tell those people, okay, you're in the trial. Go to the bar, drink beer, dance close with people, hug everyone you know, go to weddings, go to as many events as you can so that you can be infected with COVID. But of course, in this day and age, that's not ethical. You can't do that. So it is what it is. They have to enroll 20,000 people, and in 4 months they get 169 get COVID. If they would have followed them longer, there'd be more, and I'm sure they're still following them now. So that's fine. That's what we'd expect if we didn't do anything. So then you take this next group of the 20,000 that got Pfizer. These are the people, they live in the same communities, they same countries, they do everything the same, but these guys got the vaccine. So in this case, of the 20,000 people that got the Pfizer vaccine, 9 got COVID. So that's where the fundamental comparison is in these trials. So basically, the salt water, the guys that got salt water, that is the case count you would expect in both of these populations. So both of these groups are supposed to be the same, other than the salt water and the Pfizer vaccine. So you had 169 expected, 109 actual in the Pfizer vaccine. So essentially, the expectation is if Pfizer didn't do anything, if the Pfizer vaccine didn't do anything, then the expectation is that there should have been 169 cases here if this vaccine is useless. But since there wasn't 169, there was only 9. The difference between these is 160. So the fundamental assumption here is that the Pfizer vaccine avoided or prevented 160 cases in this case. So you have 160 avoided cases divided by 160 expected cases. That's about 95%. So that's where these numbers of 95% come from. So there you go. Those are the actual numbers. Hope it makes sense. If you folks have any other questions, they did report things like side effects and all that kind of stuff, and we can talk about that another time if you want. Anyways, I hope that helps to all of you. You decide. That's the information. You decide what you do with it. See ya.